On this 50-point inspection, I have Recursion, a double IPA, coming in at 8.3% ABV. This is from Spyglass Brewing Company out of Nashua, New Hampshire. The hops that are used in this one are Simcoe, Nelson, and Azaka. That's the label art right there. Let's go ahead and give this one a pour and start this inspection. Alright, already getting some juicy bits coming up for the aromatics there. It's a bit of a red or a pink grapefruit for sure. And then there's this nice white frothy tight bubbled head, and the color beer itself is that kind of hay yellow, very murky. And yeah, now let's dive in for some more aromas. Yeah, so I mentioned grapefruit, pink grapefruit. There is a mango. A little bit of another citrus type note in there. Not quite going full on orange, but it is citrusy. Maybe even pushing towards lime. No real malt presence per se in the aromatics. Maybe a little bit on the kind of crackery side. So let's dive in for the first little swig here. So cheers. It's got like a medium body, somewhat of a soft mouthfeel to it, medium carbonation. Seems like it's just going to be a nice, like kind of one of those wetter beers, but then it is drying on the finish. Yeah, so like mango type flavors, a little bit of some berry action going on. I'd even go maybe into like a white grape, melon. The grapefruit, that pink grapefruit does come up after those initial flavor notes. Malt, yeah, I'd say it's just kind of a crackery malt presence. Bitterness on this one is in the moderate range. It's kind of got this floral piney-esque thing going on. It's not harsh, so that's good. It's kind of like, yeah, floral pine, so like a sweeter type of a pine for the finale on the bitter there. But right before that, yeah, it is that kind of pink grapefruit type note that I first got out of the aromatics. A little bit of a baby food pear, I would say, also. Yeah, this one starts off with more of those kind of like down to earth but tropical type fruit flavors. A little bit of that citrus in there with like a kind of a lime, like citrus note. And yeah, then it gets a little bit more sharp, bringing in that pink grapefruit and that floral piney bitterness. So a little more sweet on the front, even without a huge malt presence, just being on that cracker side, and then finishing with a noticeable moderate bitterness, but not harsh, like I said. So let's go ahead and put down a score. Right, so for the appearance, we'll give this one the 6 out of 6. The aromatics, I'm at a 9 out of 10. It did have that big old punch of grapefruit from afar, so it did have some aromas pouring right out of the glass as soon as it's poured into the glass. And pretty pleasant aromatics. I mean, the malt presence, not much there. Like I said, maybe just a bit of a crackeriness. But overall, nice aromatics. Flavor, same thing. Not a lot of malt presence to this one, but I'm super glad that it didn't have a bunch of caramel or honey-like flavors. And yeah, light crackery type of malt. The hops, they went through fairly well with starting off, like I said, with the kind of down to earthier tone, but still tropical type fruit notes, a little bit on the sweeter side, and then spiking up into a little bit more of a citrus, and then a slight floral piney-esque finish that's not too harsh, which is nice. 17 out of 19 for the flavors. Body on this one, let's get that medium, kind of semi-soft mouthfeel. It did seem a bit wet, but it is drying as well, and I'd say overall, yeah, I'll give the body a 5 out of 5. And for my overall score on this one, I'm liking it. It does have, like I said, a good sway of flavors. You go back in for another sip, it's the same thing over and over again, so it's not like anything's being masked after a while. I'm at a 9 out of 10 for this one, and that's going to leave Recursion double IPA from double New England IPA, basically, from Spyglass Brewing Company with a BuMpY 46 out of 50, which is going to land this as an excellent beer. So I just want to say cheers and thank you all for watching.